stories about him because not much gets mentioned about him, but from the outside, he seems to have been a real powerhouse.
Well, it's a 3 or 4 part question. Let me get to the one with Phil Leonetti. He was a good friend of mine. I really liked him a lot. I call him a kid, but he's not a kid. He's a man. He's a grown man. A tough guy. He was Nicky's nephew. And I had a lot of, I actually recommended him to become a maid guy to Nicky. And eventually I recommended him to become Nicky's underboss. And I did time with him as well. I did about 4 or 5 years. We were in a unit together. And when I got there, he was sitting at his own table. He was the head of the table. And he said, Sammy, sit in my seat. No, I said, this has been your seat. You stay in the seat, I'll sit next to you. He said, no, you sit in my seat and I'll sit next to you. And another little story, he was going to fight with a guy. One of these guys from Philadelphia came and grabbed me and they said, Sammy's in a bad argument with one of them Hawaiian guys that like rock, what are they called? Samoan. And they're big dudes. They're really big dudes. So we went over, I told the guys, relax. He's handling it. He's acting like a man. He's handling it himself. As soon as they go to blows, we'll jump in. And they never went to blows, but he stood up. He acted like a man in prison. I liked him a lot. I tried to get some interviews with him. I must have changed his name and his place, so he don't want to see it, He don't want the town. Maybe he's in a town, some place. Then they see him on television. They say, oh, my God, Lefty Louie is really Phil Leonetti. So I don't blame him. I understand it. But I can't do an interview for guys who are going to be in the shadows. So I would love to do an interview with him. And I feel he's a great guy, great guy. And another thing I got against him, he's better looking than me, and I don't like that either. So, but other than that, he's a great guy. Now, let me get to the second part. Nicky Scarfo was legitimately a tough guy. His downfall was he killed too fucking many people he should have never killed. Phil the Chicken Man's son, Salvi, was a rising star. I met him a few times, real tall kid, very well built, very good looking, tough as a bastard. And he was a rising star. And there's a few stories with him, bullshit stories, and Nicky was, I don't know, intimidated by him or whatever it was. He killed him. Now, Nicky's best friend was his father, Salvi's father, Phil the Chicken Man Tester. When you do something like that, people start to worry about you. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Was he kill crazy? Certain times and certain things you just don't do. So, but he was legitimately a tough guy. I don't think he was feared outside like the New York families, if that's what you're talking about. He was respected by them. And there was another meeting in my house in Staten Island when I lived in Staten Island. Frankie DeChico and John Gotti met with Nicky Scarfo, and who brought Nicky there was Phil. Phil sat on the side with me. Me and him sat on the side while Nicky Scarfo, Frankie DeChico, and John Gotti talked about making arrangements and friendships and whatever, stuff like that. So, but Nicky called me down one time to a meeting, and I did work with him, the Johnny Keys hit, this guy Frankie Steele, two things I did with him. And he was concerned about John, and he called me there and talked to me about it. I talked about this story. I don't want to explain the whole thing, but he said, if you have a problem, I got your back, Sammy, me and my whole family. So he was a tough guy, a real tough guy. Did a ton of work, got jammed up, went to prison. Phil wound up flipping. So I knew them all good. So he was not feared in New York. I didn't fear him, but he was a tough guy. And he helped me with the hit on this guy, Frankie Steele. And so I think that answers the question a little bit. There's a lot of stories, but I can't get into them. We'll be here talking for an hour just on that alone.
Warden Hood's in the house.
Yeah, Warden Hood.
Warden Hood, that's my man. that's a great guy. This is a good guy, straight up. I did interviews with him. I did a show with him. Most of you guys saw it. If you didn't see it, see it. This guy's the real deal. He was a warden of the ADX Supermax, and we had a little bit of a relationship, a friendship. We respected one another, and he's that type of guy. He's a good guy, and he's helping me with, with prison reform, and he's done that. And it takes a lot of balls for the position he's in as a warden to come out and talk about prison reform and how the ADX Supermax is just a bit too fucking much, and he has the balls to talk about it. So that's my man.
Yeah, he said, great show as always. Happy birthday to Amina, the 21-year-old.
He must have paid you for that. Come on.
Thanks, Warden Hood. Also, real quick before I ask the next question, John Carl wants to get a shout out. He said he finally got his Lexus fixed and he got his job back.
Great. Thumbs up for that, bro.
Okay. Adam Roberts asked another question. Hey, Sammy, the Genovese family are considered to be the most powerful family. Is this all because Chin Gigante was in charge? And what made Chin stand out from other mob bosses? Although he played the mental illness role, was he really a smart guy and a tough guy?
Let me go to the front part of that question. The Genovese family was always a pretty solid-based family. They didn't have their internal wars and arguments like some other families, including the Gambino. So they were pretty solid. There's a lot of solid guys in there. There's name after name after name with them. It's a pretty tough, pretty good family. Chin Gigante was a tough guy. There's no question about it. The whole thing with the robe and the whole thing was an act. He got away with it for a long, long time. And he was smart. I had 2 or 3 major sit-downs with him, and he was extremely smart, extremely fair with me. I had a ton of respect for him. People say I ratted on him. I didn't. I testified at a competency hearing. I didn't testify at his trial. I believe that's the way it went. But I had a lot of respect for him, the sit-downs I had with him. I told one about this guy, Scapaci, who gave me an offer about some kids, and I had a license to kill them. And he called me in and said, I'd like you to, we had a friend of ours, meaning a made guy, died, and I got 2 sons that I take care of. Sammy, you got a contract on them, you got a legitimate reason. I'm asking you for a favor. And I said, I'd like to ask you for a favor. And he said, what is it? And I said, the guy who told me about these kids literally saved my life. He's actually with your family, and I know you're going to wind up killing him because he did that. I'm asking for his life. He put his hand out. He shook my hand. He got spared. I believe the guy's name is Robbie Scapaci, and I think he's still alive. The 2 kids, I got rid of the contract. I lived up to my word, I think, and I hope they're still alive. I didn't follow them. So he was cool like that. And he told me, Sammy, that's a smart guy. You're sitting down with me and you're going to give me the favor and you're asking for a favor. That's a beautiful thing. He says, I like that. So he was fair but tough. There's no question that he would order you killed. Part of the thing, he gave his Jersey faction, the guy who was in charge of New Jersey.
The Cavalcante?
Yeah, no. The guy who was in charge, he's doing 40 years. He's 94 years old. But anyway, he gave them the contract. He was going to kill John Gotti. And they got caught on tape. He's charged with it. What's his name? Do we know it?
Bobby Manna?
Bobby Manna, exactly. Thank you. Bobby Manna had the contract. They got caught on tape planning the hit on Gotti, and Bobby went away. And I fight for him a little bit whenever I can with prison reform. The guy is 90-something years old. He's in 40 years. I let him go home, and I talked to the warden about it, He agrees with me.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. So I hope he gets out. And Bobby Manna, if your lawyers or anybody hears this tape, reach me again. I'll do whatever I can do I'm not going to lie, but I'll do whatever I can do to help him. I would really like to see him out in the street. And all he's going to do is go home. He's 90-something years old. He'll die at home with his family. And I mean, we could be compassionate enough to do that. And he wasn't as vicious as a lot of guys who came out. I mean, he was ballsy and he was pretty vicious, but not. There's other guys who are much more vicious than him who got breaks. I'm not knocking them, but I think if you can do it for one, you do it for all. Be consistent in what you're doing. If you're keeping everybody in, then keep everybody in. Go one way or the other. So, but I guess you got different judges and different things, and they think differently. But so, all right. What's the next question?
Okay, I'm actually going to jump in super chats real quick.
I don't hear you.
I said I'm going to jump in the super chats real quick.
Okay.
So, Acting for Fun Lions just wants to say Happy Early Mother's Day to all the beautiful moms out there. Do you want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful moms,
even
Sammy?
the ugly ones, the beautiful ones, the ugly ones. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of them, not just the beautiful ones.
Okay, Pickle Rick says, Sammy, how would you sniff a guy out that was up to no good during daily mob life? Thank you. I love you all.
How would I sniff him out?
Yeah.
There's a way. I don't know about sniffing them out, but there's a lot of ways to see if someone is loyal. A lot of things in life happen. Things will tell you if they're loyal or not loyal, and you got to deal with it. And it's not an easy thing. Somebody could get upset with you and be growling at you or saying fucked up things about you or whatever in a mood. That's one thing, and that's an argument, more or less. That's not a person who's not loyal. Sometimes you get into an argument with people right across the board. But there's a lot of moves that they'll make that doesn't show loyalty. And if you have that around you, I think you have to get rid of that. Sooner or later, they'll betray you. Loyalty and trust, that bond is an extremely strong thing. And what shows that is not what they say or do. It's over a period of time, it's what they do. It's not what they say, it's not an argument. What does that person do over an overall period of time? I have an argument with everybody, but that doesn't mean that they're not loyal or they're not trustworthy. If you put that argument on the side, you can go forward and then look at what a person does. I had an argument with someone, and that's what I do. I look at what did that person do. It's the same thing. Let's get back to the presidency, Trump. A lot of people don't like him or whatever, but look at what he did while he was the president. And look at what's going on to the country now. So whether you like him or not, it's not, you don't like him, you don't trust him, or this or that. You got to look at what the person does for you, and they're with you. So.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Actually, it's not a question. It's just a comment. Pizza Dave just says, hey, Sammy, just wanted to say hello this week. No question or comment.
Hello, Bo.
Sean Mark, was Carlo indicted at the time he passed?
I think he was indicted before he passed. I'm not sure. I think he beat the case. They dropped the case because of his illness and stuff like that. So I think they dropped the case, and a little later on he did die. So I don't know if you can blame it on the case or was at the same time. I really don't know. I know he was sick when he got indicted, and I think they dropped the charges. So, and then he died a little while after that.
Okay, great. Danny Murphy says, what's up, Sammy? Most mob movies have great soundtracks. My favorite two are Bronx Tale and Goodfellas. On your show, will you be having a badass soundtrack? And what music did you listen to growing up?
growing up, the music I listened to a lot, I mean, there was a lot of Sinatra, DeMont, and I loved Motown singing too. Motown was great back then. I enjoyed that. Soul music, rhythm and blues. I love that kind of music. I still listen to rhythm and blues and soul, stuff like that. What was the other part of that?
The other part of Danny's question, hang on.
Yeah, the first one. The first part of it.
The first part was, what are, so
the
he's talking about the
soundtrack.
soundtracks. Yeah, he said, are
The
you going to
soundtrack
have any
in
badass
movies.
soundtracks on
Listen,
your show?
I think that the sound tracks are very important. If I have a good input on this, I'm going to be very, talkative about it. I love the soundtrack in Sicario. The drums, boom, ba boom, ba boom. You automatically stood up. You knew something was about to happen. Music has a place in just about everything. I was listening to, somebody sent me the first episode I did on my podcast, season 1, episode 1. James Carroll did the soundtrack in it, and it just blows you away. Every time I hear it, that sound, that music that he put behind the conversation and the story, it blew me away. So I think it's very, very important in a movie, whether it's a mob movie or whatever movie. I think it's really, you're listening to a love story and you get romantic type of music. It puts you in the mood. If it's a love story, I don't think you want to hear hip hop, going crazy. When it's a love story, it don't fit. So the fitting of the music. I'll go to The Sopranos. I watched it sometimes in the street. Then I went away. I watched it in prison. That music when he's driving in the car, that soundtrack would just wake me up. I'm ready to watch. I get my coffee. I sit down. I'm ready to go. So soundtrack is important. Everything in a movie is important. It's not just the actors and the actors. Of course, I give them my hat off to them. But the soundtrack is extremely important. Every part of it is important. So when I do mine, I'm going to be a ball breaker a little bit about everything. When I watch a movie, a lot of times somebody will say, "What'd you think of the movie?" "Oh, I love the soundtrack. I love this. I love that." It had nothing to do with the acting. But I like the acting too. Otherwise, it's not good enough. So every part of it, I think, is important.
Quick shout out to Betty Ann. Hi, Betty Ann.
Hey,
Thank you
Betty
so
Ann.
much. Tell her say hi.
Hello.
She knows
Hello.
I love her. I love her.
See, she
I
wished
still
me a
have
happy
that bond.
21st too.
Huh?
She wished me a happy 21st too.
Betty Ann's good people. Betty Ann's good
I love
people.
Betty Ann. She's a
She's
sweetheart.
really good people.
Okay. Back to Super Chats. Bradford Blair says, "Hey, boss, just checking in and wanted to say hi." Give him a shout out.
Hi, how you doing, bro?
How you doing, pal?
How you doing? M Driver 1981. Hi again. I have a question about Agnello Della Croce. He has been portrayed numerous times in film as very Machiavellian and stoic. Was the man really that way?
I mean, I don't know if he was Machiavellian. I don't think so. I think he abided by the rules of Cosa Nostra. When John Gotti and Angelo Ruggiero went to him when they had a problem with the tapes and Paul wanted the tapes or they wanted to take him out, he told them, "The boss is the boss is the boss. This is Cosa Nostra. Give him the fucking tapes. He's the boss." And as far as killing him, he said no. He said, "What did he do? You broke every fucking rule in the book, and you want to kill him." So I had a couple of meetings with him. I played cards with him. He invited me down to play pinochle with him. He was an underboss, extremely powerful. He was stern looking. He had, a stare in his eyes. I know the FBI had said it was like looking at a wolf's eyes. He did have that look. If he was a little mad or something, he'd make you shake with that look. But he was honest. He was fair. I don't know. What's stoic mean?
Like you are calm and you are very observant and you react only accordingly. No one knows what you're really feeling or thinking.
Yes,
They
then
don't thought, they strategize.
then I would say he was stoic as well, because you weren't 100% sure. And let me give a quick story to that. There was a family member, his daughter's boyfriend, whoever it was, and Joey Francolino, a guy with us, wasn't made at the time. Had a fight with him, give him a fucking good beating, and this and that and the other thing. We went down, me and Tato. We spoke to him. Tato was a captain. I was an acting captain. And we apologized, and it was ended. And he appreciated that we came down and showed him the respect. We shook hands and we left. 2 days later, the guy got killed. He was found in a graveyard, sitting by a grave, dead. So I said, oh my God, I hope Joey didn't do this, bro, to Tato. And Tato says, I hope so too. Get him on the fucking phone, find out if he killed this guy. We just talked with Neil and gave him our word that, everything's cool. So I called him up, and he told me, he said, Sammy, I swear, why would I lie to you? I'm telling you, I didn't kill him. So I said, okay, good. I talked to Tato. I said, listen, Joey didn't kill him. He didn't have another beef with him, nothing. But I think we should go down, you know what I mean? He's liable to think we killed him. Let's go down and say, we didn't do this, bro. He says, okay, get in the car. Boom. We went down, we talked to him, and first thing out of my mouth, I says, we checked. We heard he was killed. And we checked. It wasn't Joey Francolino. It's not us. He smiled with that stoic look. And he says, Tato, I like your pick. I didn't even know what he was talking about. I said, what do you mean? He said, you did the right thing to come here. I know you didn't do it. The kid's out of order. The whip was out of order. Don't even worry about it. In other words, it was him who killed him. Not him, maybe personally, but he gave the order to kill the kid and dump him. He was abusive to the daughter or whatever he was. But he liked the point that we immediately came down to say we didn't do it. So I like Neil a lot.
Okay, a lot of your fans want to know if you've ever visited Alcatraz.
The crazy thing is I did. I went on a trip one time to San Francisco, and they had this little tour bullshit. And I said, let's go. I was with a secretary that I brought with me. I said, let's go. So I paid the fee. We went across with the boat. We went into the prison, walked around. It's a prison. I mean, it's a tough journey. It's in the middle. It's like a little island. And it was, crazy to look at it, see it. I did see it. It was closed down. It was nothing more than a place where you go visit to see it, So I never was there as an inmate or anything like that. But it was horrible looking. I could only imagine. It was almost like the AVX Supermax, that tight, but worse because it was ugly. It beat up on the inside. The inside of the AVX Supermax is clean. I could only imagine what these guys went through over there. There was one guy who, I think it's the only guy who ever escaped, and he got away on a he blew up something like and he floated out. They found the thing. Then they said he got on a plane or something, and he jumped off the plane and he landed near another island or something somewhere, an alligator-infested island, and they never saw him no more. So I don't know. That's a long story. I don't know the story. I saw it was a movie or some shit.
Yeah,
That would be Angel Island.
Where-
If he floated
whatever
to
it
that
was.
island.
They say it's extremely haunted. Did you feel any type of heaviness or different, like when you walk into somewhere and you're like, oh shit. Did you feel anything like that?
No, I think the person, it was like a guard walking around. I think he farted and I didn't like the smell. I think other than that, it was good. I didn't feel anything.
Oh my God. Next question.
Next question. All right, let's get back into these super chats. We have Gas Can Lip. What should your Gumbada gas can lip do after my coworker reheats his salmon in the break room microwave for 4 minutes?
Ew.
I am vehemently mad that my steak tastes and smells like it has fish gills.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. I mean, yeah, that's disgusting. But 4 minutes, that's a long time for heating
For
up.
some salmon, right?
Yeah, salmon.
Jeez. Okay,
Is Sammy single?
is Sammy single? Sammy, are you single?
I'm a divorce. Yes, I'm single. Who's asking? And what's your top measurement? Measure. Give me all your
God.
measurements,
That
your
was a
pictures,
setup.
and whatever. I'm
Irene Pruitt wants to know.
Oh yes, I'm divorced. I'm legally divorced. My wife divorced me in 1991. She gave me the old boot in the ass, and we're still tight. We're still friends. We're still everything. But I got the boot,
The Dear John.
and you know, when I married my wife, the craziest thing, we said, you know, you're married for life, and we made an oath together that we're wolves. We're married no matter what happens till the day we die. So I would never get married again. And I'm friends. It wasn't a bad divorce, and I'm still close with her. She's got COPD. I help her. Whatever I could do. We're tight. A lot of times, right after the divorce, it was actually good because it was almost like I was dating. I would call her up when I got out of prison. Hey, Dad, what are you doing? Nothing. You want to go out to dinner? So it was almost like going on a date. You know what I mean? So it was good, and I have no bad anything with my wife. She's been good. She's taken my back. All the years I've been in prison, she's helped me, sent me letters, cards, books, whatever I asked for, money for commissary. And was always there. The day I walked out, I was in and out a bunch of times. My kids waiting at the gate practically, and she was always there. So it's not a bad divorce. You know, we just had it on April 16th. We were married and know each other because we dated for a year or so before we even got married. We're 50-something years, and we're still friends and together. And we don't live together, but I'm single. Yes, I'm single. Send in some credentials and.
Okay, Love Life asks.
I'm rentable.
You're rentable. Oh my
You're
God.
available.
I'm available.
Love Life asks, hey Sammy and everyone, hope you're doing well. Have you met any famous wrestlers during the 70s and 80s like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan?
I watched them on TV, both of them, but I never met them, no. I met some guy, it was in a gym, a big fat ass. The guy must have been 6'6" or something like that, big, tremendous fat guy. And he was in a gym, and he wasn't a wrestler, and I had told him he should be a wrestler. You know, and he did go try out. I don't think he made it, you know, because, listen, those wrestlers, a lot of it's not true, but you have to be athletic. You know, they're jumping on each other. You have to be athletic. So, I mean, they can fight. Of course, they don't do, you know, hurt each other like it looks, but they're pretty athletic. No, I've never met many wrestlers, no.
Okay. Brian Brown in the super chat. Sammy, thank you so much. I got my autographed baseball today, and I love it. You're awesome.
That's the guy who bailed me out, right?
Yep. Hi, Ryan Brown.
All right. I told you you'd get it.
Okay, Gas Can Lip, again in the super chat. Sammy, my Gumbada, can you please give a shout out to my mom, Susan, and my auntie, Pat? They are the best thing since paper thin prosciutto.
Paper thin prosciutto is pretty good, so you must be the best. Here's a shout out to you girls.
Mom Susan and Auntie Pat.
Auntie Pat and Mom Susan.
Yep. El Gato. Sammy salute. How would Don Carlo handle millennials? Grazie.
Yeah, I really don't know. It's a weird time that a lot of weird shit's going on. I don't think he would be, he wouldn't be near them. He'd pull away from them, but I don't think they would bother him. I think Don Carlo, in his way, it's like, you want to live your life, we live our life. I don't think he would be mad at them or anything like that or do anything negative. I doubt if he'd do anything negative. So I think he would be, he wouldn't be happy with it, but I don't think anybody is. But I don't think he would do anything in a negative way towards them.
Sergeant Moody, the next pack on Black and Miles are on me, boss.
Okay.
Sean Mark, why was Angelo Bruno hit?
Angelo Bruno, and that's part of the Johnny Keys story, was hit for greed, for power, to take over. He got hit for scummy reasons. I'll leave it at that. When my story comes out, whether it's the Johnny Keys movie or my scripted show, there's going to be a pretty good description of him getting hit. They called him the Gentle Don, and he was good. Everybody ate under him. It was not easy to get a contract from him. He wasn't kill crazy. So it was greed. And mostly the Genovese family was behind the thing, along with some of the guys in the Philadelphia family.
Okay, we have a couple of random chats. People want to know what your tattoos mean.
A lot of them don't have very much meaning. This thing with there's flowers and things, this is Japanese art. They do this. So this has a meaning. I knew a few Japanese people, and this is meaning what they called art. And I says, I was running out of things what to put. There's one thing that the ABs allowed me to put, Aiden, on my arm. Other than that, they don't mean too much. Here's what they meant. When I went back to prison, I didn't have a tattoo on my body. The ones I had taken off. I went back in prison at the age of 55 years old with a label as a rat. That's a tough label to walk into prisons, penitentiaries, or stuff. They want to kill you. And I know that. So when I got busted when I went into prison, I put on my prison hat. I tattooed up because I didn't give a fuck no more. And I was going to live the prison life. If anybody fucked with me, I would kill them. It was just, and my idea was like, just tattoo me the fuck up. And I'm going to go in there with an attitude that I don't give a fuck, or I'm going to probably get killed, but I'm not going down easy. And that's what they meant to me. It probably sounds stupid, but that's what it meant. It was putting ugly shit on my body to live that life. I didn't think I would get out. I had a 20-year sentence. I was 55 years old. I did 17 years, 7 months. I never thought I'd make it. But I did get along with A Familia, which is a Mexican heavyweight gang. I got along with the ABs. And I actually got along with a lot of black guys in prison. I don't walk around like my shit don't stink. So I don't really bother people. I stay away from the things that give people problems. I stopped watching football, baseball, everything because people argue. I stayed away from that. The gay shit, I stayed away from that. I stayed away from drinking alcohol or drugs. These are the things that get you in deep shit in prison. And I went in, and I think a lot of people knew I'm not the biggest or the toughest guy in the world, but I will fucking kill you. If you fight me and you hurt me bad enough, I'm gonna kill you. And I think they knew that. I was down for the game. You wanna go? Let's go. I don't care if I win or lose the fight. If I lose the fight in a really bad way, I will try to kill you. And I think people understood that, knew that, and didn't bother. I played cards with guys. I played handball. I played racquetball, and I stayed out of trouble. I wasn't timid. I wasn't shy. That's another thing. If you're timid, you're shy, you're weak, you're gonna have problems in prison. So you gotta be a man, be respectful, don't be a fucking smart ass. And I did have a couple of brawls, and nothing to talk about. I mean, a couple of good ones, pretty good ones. And so I never forget, I was going to have a fight with a black guy, and we were going to go in a cell. And I told him, come on, you can't win. I think I was about 68. So he says, I can't win? The guy was twice my size. It was probably a joke. So I said, no, you can't win. I said, let me tell you something. I could still hit pretty hard. If I connect with you, I might win. And the whole prison system is going to know I kicked the shit out of you. And I'm 68 years old. If you win, that's not a tough guy move. You beat up a 68-year-old guy. So either way, you're going to look like a schmuck. So let's go in the fucking cell. And he started laughing. He says, you're right. And we didn't fight. We actually became friends. So it depends on how you carry yourself in prison, and
Okay, sorry, we had another technical blip on something else. Aussie Wolfhound in your super chat says, Sammy, last week I asked if you knew Carmine DiBiase, the guy believed to have killed Joey Gallo, and you said you didn't. I've since learned he was also known as Sonny Pinto. Does that name ring a bell?
That name definitely rings a bell. And matter of fact, if my memory, I mean, I don't know for 100%, but I think it was Sonny Pinto. I think, but I don't know for sure.
Lore 84. Hi, is it true Patsy Perello's son was killed by Albanians because Patsy had slapped Frankie Lucasio's son after Frankie's son abused people in Patsy's restaurant?
I don't know about any of that killing part. I do know the story that, what's his name, Patsy what?
Patsy, it doesn't have a last name.
All right,
Patsy Perello.
Yes, he was a captain in the Genovese family. He had an argument with Frankie Lowe's son, who's a made guy. In the argument, Patsy Perello slapped him in the face, Frankie Lucasio's son. And Frankie Lucasio's son didn't do anything. They went for permission because he raised his hand to kill, and they said, no, you didn't even fight back. That's a bitch move. He slapped you in the fucking face. If you would have fought back, we would have considered killing him for raising his hands first. But you didn't even fight back. And that almost goes back to a prison thing. You could respect the guy, win or lose, if he defends himself. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. But if you're not going to defend yourself, we're not going to respect you. You deserve that slap.
Lord.
So I do know about that. I don't think Albanians killed anybody. And there was an Albanian guy, a real tough guy around Frankie Lucasio, and I guess you're probably talking about him. Real tough guy. He'd kill you in a minute. But no, matter of fact, Frankie Lucasio was so disappointed that his son didn't react to that slap in front of people.
Okay, Laura 84 back in the super chat. Before marrying an Italian woman, do you have to ask her father for permission first?
That's part of our custom, and I'm not sure if it's only our custom. I think I know a lot of Mexican people. I think they do the same thing. I think there's a lot of cultures. Respect is something that goes across races, across everything. If you're going to marry a girl, you normally go to her parents and tell them you're going to get married. She's going to tell them, and you both go there and you ask for blessings. You would want the family to welcome you in. So I think it's a respectful move. I know it's that way in the Italians. I believe it's like that, and I'm almost sure it's like that with the Mexicans. Is it like that with the Mexicans, Anna?
Si, senor.
It's like
right.
that with us.
Yeah. You too?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's, I think, goes right across the board. It's very disrespectful to just make a move on your own and not give a shit about the parents. These are people who raised you your whole fucking life. You owe them that. Now, I took one time, when I was very young, I took a stripper. She was drop dead gorgeous in my house. My mother had a heart attack when she saw her. And my father told me, Sammy, come here. Come outside, I want to talk to you. So when I went outside, he said, Sammy, she's beautiful. My God, she's beautiful. She's a stripper, right? Yeah. But you can't take that home to your mother. You got to take that to a motel, bro. Not to your mother. You're bringing this girl, she's fucking drop dead gorgeous. So I understood that too. You know, you got to bring somebody that they could relate to. So, you know, I saw another thing on Instagram today. There was a girl who comes in and she didn't get a job in a popular, you know, not a grocery store, but a clothing store, popular store. And she's mad that she didn't get the job. And she's got tattoos all over her face and all kinds of pierced things hanging from her nose, her lips, everywhere. And all over her arms, every place. So she says, I think they were not racist, but whatever. And they didn't hire me because of the tattoos. The manager of the store says, yeah, you're damn right, bro. We want you to be working for people, to show them clothes, to do certain things. Listen, if you want to live like that and you want to look like that, God bless you. Go do it. But we don't want you representing our store in that manner. And she looked like a complete monster. And so you could understand it, you know, how you look is important. I don't know why I said that, but.
It's how you carry yourself, how you represent yourself.
Yeah, so imagine bringing that home to your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm going to marry that. Yeah, it's that. What is that?
Meatloaf. She didn't taste mom's meatloaf, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Vinny S. in the super chat. Much love, Sammy. Rep the Trump Gravano shirt this last weekend in Vegas.
Great, great, great.
Daily, I think it's Monex. Hi, Sammy. What's your opinion on the Albanians in New York?
The Albanians I knew in New York. My kids knew a few Albanians. I knew the Albanian guy around Frankie Lowe. They're tough people. They're good people. You know, you get people from other countries. I just did a video about something that happened in the Plaza Suite. He's from Czechoslovakia. And these are tough people when they come to this country. They on the ground, they fight in their countries for freedom. These are tough people. When they come here, and a lot of them are good people. So the Albanians I knew were tough people. I never had a problem with them. They were good people. They were respectful. They were tough. And I think that's all you need or you want from a person.
Okay, real quick, guys, just want to let you know I'm on the mic, but I do see the chats. I want to give you guys shout outs. Dave in Pittsburgh, shout out to you. I also want to remind everybody that we do have, for the month of May, 25% off all merch in the store. So make sure you put in promo code MAY25. And then you get 25% off everything in the merch store. So please take advantage of that. It's all month long. What is that?
They're like chocolate. We just got a delivery to the door. Is banging on the door. It's balloons and chocolate covered strawberries to Amina.
Oh, who gave me that?
I don't know.
Sorry, guys. Slight interruption.
Wow.
Look at it, balloons and chocolate covered strawberries.
I mean, you know why? Because I told them I got rid of your boyfriend, and now they're filling in already.
Betty Ann.
Betty Ann.
Oh my God. You
So I
are
told you
so
she's really
sweet.
a good person. Look at this, from Betty Ann, a whole package of stuff.
Holy smoke. I
with
absolutely
balloons
love
and everything.
you.
That's a good person.
That is the sweet.
Oh my
Damn, these look
gosh.
really good. Anna, go show it on camera. Oh my God, they're so cute, you guys.
Here.
Hang on, Anna's going to come around and show you guys what it looks like.
Yeah. See, now when you that other
Sterling,
question
you wanna go?
on what do you think of people and stuff? Look at Betty Ann. I mean, she's somebody's birthday. You know, they just do these things, and
Yeah, go show them over there. They're so cute. They got little eyes on it. Demi, yes, darling.
Wow.
I know that you're in the UK.
Oh,
if
that's
you
gorgeous.
send an email to
yes, chocolate covered strawberries
at
and that's for
SammyTheBull.com.
Amina?
Oh, back up a little bit, Sterling. Go towards Sammy.
Right here?
Yeah, and then tilt it upwards.
Watch
Can you
out.
guys see
Lily's
it?
looking
Look
at
at
the
how
box.
cute they are. Lily wants to jump and eat them.
Lily's looking at
Anyways,
the box.
anybody
That's not
who
yours,
is-
bro.
Anybody who is international, if you guys want anything from the merch store, please send an email to support@SammyTheBull.com, and I will communicate with you directly and work that out with you. Should we get back into the chat, Sammy?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. We have Mets fan. Hey, Sammy, why did the AB punk John Gotti in prison and not you?
John Gotti fell into his own trap. I don't know if they punked him. He had a fight with a black guy. Everybody makes a bet. So a black guy was, got the intern to make his bet. John Gotti tried to make it before him. And the black guy, said something. And John Gotti says, I'm John Gotti, I'll go first. And the guy, they don't give a fuck who you are in prison. So the guy didn't buy it. He said some racial shit. They had a fight the next day, and John Gotti got the worst of it. The guy was young, strong. John Gotti didn't stand a chance. And I think he tried a second time and got a good beating again. And John Gotti wanted to have him killed. And he went to the ABs. He wanted to pay to have him killed. So that's what made the ABs punk him. They said, okay, here's what we'll do. We'll charge you $25,000 to kill him. And for protection, we'll protect you that this don't happen no more to you. So everybody in the prison will know we have your back. Nobody will fuck with you no more. And he agreed to it. I believe he had his daughter, Vicky, send one of the AB's wives the money. And that was done. They were going to kill the black guy. The warden found out about this whole thing, and they moved the black guy to another prison, somewhere else, far away. So they couldn't get at him. And now they were getting money for protection. And that's not a good move in prison. It's just a horrible move. It's a punk move. A punk will do that. Now, I was amazed that he did that. I don't know why he did that. And then he paid more money to kill Frankie LaCasio, Joe Watts, and me. One of the guys who got the contract to kill me was corn-fed. He was on the street. And when I was in prison with him, he told me the whole thing. Two of the AB guys who he was paying flipped and ratted on the ABs and on John Gotti. The only reason John Gotti didn't get arrested for it was because he had cancer and he was dying. So they put him down as an unindicted co-conspirator. Why he put the contract on Frankie LaCasio, of course, either in my book or he found out that Frankie LaCasio and me wanted to kill him after the case was over. If you remember that conversation. Well, he found out. And he put that. He wanted to kill Joe Watts because he found out for sure that Joe Watts was a rat and ratting on him while they were on the outside and he was in. He would call Joe Watts up, give him information, instead of him giving them information to the wise guys, he gave it to the feds. So those are the people he tried to kill from prison. And those are the reasons why. And I actually, as I was doing time, well, first of all, I became very close with Cornfed. He's done a bunch of these tattoos on me. I actually met the two guys who flipped. When I went to a unit, they were there. And they told me the whole story too. These are the guys who flipped on John, and they told me the whole story. So the black guy never got caught and never got killed. Frankie Licasio, as soon as they found out in prison that there was a contract on him, they put Frankie under protective custody in the hole. Joe Watts, I don't know, they never killed him, but I don't know what the fuck happened with him. He's another guy, was walking around with a Mexican guy with a shiv, and he was paying for protection. And he's a tough guy, he's a killer. But when you do that in prison, that's one of the worst things you could do. You look like a fucking mutt. You got to pay somebody to protect you. What are you, a broad? Protect yourself. If you're scared, go make a shank. Do something. Or bend over and take it in the fucking ass, because that's what you are, a punk. I don't know why I'm getting so excited.
I'm just like, moving on.
I'm getting mad, like, bend
Jay
over.
Marie.
Huh?
Jay,
The chocolate? Why it got me wound up?
Jay Marie asks, boss, any bullpens or table in the back interviews in the works? We miss the great discussions, and we miss Anna's face. LOL.
Anna's right there. She's got her little fingers on the right
Her little
chin.
angel face.
She's right there. She was sick for a while, and nothing serious, but and she needed a break. I have a small crew. I don't have. Everybody thinks I got a crew of 20, 30 people. She does most of the work, and she was a little beat up.
I'm refraining from saying anything.
What?
I will throw something right across the
Throw a
room.
strawberry at him.
My.
Most of the work?
I mean, it works very hard.
Oh no, yeah, but she does most of the work.
Most of the work. Hello.
No. Her and Mina do most of the work. Now you could throw something at me too, right? Me? Yeah. She said me? Not me.
Moving on.
Moving on.
The check-in report. Who was a better leader, Gotti, Carlo, or Castellano?
Oh, Carlo Gambino was a better leader than any one of them. And I think, Castellano was a good leader, but he was too much for the earners and not enough for the guys who do the work, the thugs, the gangsters. Those are the people who, you give them orders, they go in the fucking street and risk their life for you. You gotta help these people, bro. A lot of them are not Einstein, they're not good earners, but you gotta take care of them. Not just the guys who bring you big fat envelopes. So, and if that's, and Gotti, I don't think was a good leader at all. I hate to say it because it looks like I got a hard on for him, and I don't. I love the guy. He made every mistake under the bill. I'm going to call them mistakes. He made every mistake under the sun. Doing that brought the entire government together. In their words, the Eastern District, the Southern District, the FBI, the DEA, the New York State organized crime. He brought the whole fucking thing against us together for his actions. Sticking his finger in their fucking eye, whatever. It didn't work. And it don't work.
Okay, Matthew, I'm going to butcher your name, Carusillo. Hey, Sammy, has anyone ever just disappeared one day that you still don't know what happened to them?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who disappear. Listen, as far as this disappearing thing, when you do, I've done work, and somebody else took the body. You don't ask the guy, what'd you do with the body? You got rid of it? Good. We're never going to see it again. Now, the reason why we don't ask or we don't tell is today, tomorrow, the guy flips. He could say, you took the body, Abina, and you buried it. And I could tell you the exact spot. You're dead. So we don't do that. If your job was to get rid of the body, I don't care what you do with it. Bury it. If I'm asking you questions, where did you bury it? If I was to get rid of the body and somebody started asking me, what'd you do with it? I would tell them I ate it. What do you mean, what'd I do with it? It's none of your fucking business. It's gone. Unless it was the boss of the family, then you can't tell him that. But, you know, you don't talk about, there's certain things you don't talk about. And, you really things you did. I listened to something with George Gabriel, who was a heavyweight FBI agent today. I listened to it. And, John Gotti got caught on tape 4 or 5 years after we killed Castellano, telling the whole fucking story. Why is he in an apartment talking about what we did? We got away with it 4 or 5 years ago, and then we all got pinched. So these are things that you just don't do. You don't talk about things you did and you got away with it or something, They come back to haunt you. Now you're committing the crime all over again.
Okay, Ben N asks, Baby John DeLutro from Mulberry Street says, you should come drop by sometime. The neighborhood isn't the same no more. Remember how those cannolis are?
The cannolis were great, and I was talking to somebody just recently. One of my ex-friends, Louise. And she went to a party, a family party, and they had, not the cannolis, the Zeppelins. Now, as soon as I heard the Zeppelins, I love them, Zeppelins, and you can't have them any place around here in Arizona. I haven't had Zeppelins from the last time I went to prison. It's got to be 25, 30 years ago. I didn't have Zeppelins. So when I heard Zeppelins, my mouth was watering. I want them so bad. They used to have them at the feast every single year. You get the bag of Zeppelins with the powder on it. By the time you got home, you see all the grease in the fucking bag. They were delicious. So, yeah, I love that kind of stuff.
Sean Mark wants to know, demo killers, can you get them on your show?
Who?
Demo?
DeMeo.
Why is he saying demo? Come on, guy.
The 2 guys that just got released.
I think the twins.
The
The
two
twins.
guys
Yeah,
with
the
the
twins.
mayo?
Yeah, the twins.
The twins? I don't know if they're going to go on shows or do anything like that. Both of them would be welcome on my show with me. I would do a show with them. Listen, anybody could change their life. These guys were super fucking tough guys. They were under orders. I don't know if they enjoyed what they did or they just did it. So a lot of times I did things I did not enjoy it. And I changed my life. I heard one of them is out. I think the other one got out in April, so both of them are out now. I know there's a couple of people who are trying to do interviews with them. I'm open to do an interview with them. They changed their lives, or they would have never got out. A prison knows, when it comes to anybody getting out, it shouldn't be a judge sitting on their ass somewhere or a prosecutor. Wardens, unit managers, guards, they do time with you every fucking day. They know when you're full of shit or when you're just a bastard or you're just no good. So, and I think their time, they got good recommendations, that they changed their life. There's no reason for me to believe they didn't. I wish them the best. If they wanted to do an interview with me, I'm open to it. If not, I just hope they change their life. It's true. And that they have a good life with their families. These guys did 35 years, I think they did. 35 fucking years of your life. Think about it. It's incredible. Your whole youth, the whole everything is gone. And they're both old men. I think they're both in their 60s. One I think is 68, and the other one is probably 68, 69, 70, whatever. So they're up in age. They're tired. They did 35 years. I hope they make it, and I hope they exist. And another part that I like about their story is that both of them, from what I understand, I don't know it personally, their families stuck with them the whole time. They owe that to their families to go straighten their life out and go enjoy themselves with their families who waited 35 fucking years for them. So that's all I can say about them.
Okay, Mike Johnson, first super chat for him. Sammy the Bull, you're awesome. I love how you're not afraid to tell the truth.
You know, I told guys who started a channel, this Dominic Sicali, one time I met with him and I told him, I said, listen, these people out here, they're mob buffs, they're smart. They know the life. They ask great questions. They're not stupid. And they know when you're bullshitting or not. The thing you want to do, if you want to start a show, one, tell the fucking truth. And talk about your life, not bad-mouthing somebody all the time. I mean, people will listen to that, but there's a limit to it. So that's what you got to do. Even if it hurts you, tell the fucking truth. Or don't go on this. If you have to hide things, then don't go on. But tell the truth. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the people. They're not just robots. They know what's going on. They know what time it is. They'll see the truth. The camera, you know, you could lie only so much and get away with it. But they'll pick up on it. Sooner or later, they'll pick up on it, and they're not gonna be listening to you. So that's my advice to people who start these shows. There's a lot of room in there. Tell your story. Tell what you know. How did the mob educate you, or what did it do for you in life? People talk to me about business. I enjoy talking about business because the mafia did teach me a lot about business. I did learn a lot. So I get these calls where it costs $400 and you're there for a half hour. Guys talk to me. Not so much questions, few questions, but mostly business. You know, how to run a business and what's right or what's wrong and stuff like that. I think the mob taught me a lot of things like that. There's a lot of ugly shit. There's things I don't like that happen in the mafia. But I say it all the time. I think I'm a good man right now. I think I do good things for people as much as I can. And I think that the mafia has made me what I am. I witnessed and was part of ugly things that I'm not proud of. I was part of good things. But all of those things made me what I am. What my mother and father taught me, what bad people taught me, I learned and picked on my own. I could have been like Roy DeMeo and became a serial killer, but I didn't. I skeeved that. I don't like it. I'm against it. So it made me what I am today. I'm proud of what I am today. I'm doing a lot of good things, and I'm dealing with good people right across the board. So I have no regrets about what I did and what I didn't do. It made me what I am today, and I'm proud of what I'm doing today. I am. A guy told me something, I forgot something, and he told me, and I sent him a baseball. I said I would. I did. He's there. I like doing that. I'm not money hungry. I want enough to run my companies, pay my bills, and put a few bucks in my pocket. I'm not driving around with a fucking Rolls Royce. I'm driving around with a Kia. And I'm not living high. I don't have tremendous jewelry, a little bit, tremendous clothes, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be with good people, and I have fun. A lot of the girls, like now, we're all excited. She got Betty, like I said, is a good person, sends things down. She sent me down stuff a couple of times, Italian-made stuff. It's beautiful to feel a person like that, talking to a person like that. And now, Amina's birthday, she sends her down. You know, there's good people. Talk about your fucking life, not other people's lives, or put up bullshit, you know, and enjoy it, or get off, go do something, go get a fucking job or something. So I like what's going on in my life anyway.
El Gato's in your super chat. He says, why do USA streets look like video games? I watch cop videos for fun. It's so funny. Grazie.
You know, that's politics now. It's open borders and everything like that. The streets in New York, in California, in Chicago are literally falling apart. And it's not the ugliness of it. It's that 100,000 kids are dying a year from drugs. Aside from all this, we're allowing it with an open border, our politicians. And we're allowing it by not complaining or not marching. There should be a fucking march on Washington to say enough. Close these fucking borders. We're sending billions and billions, 100, 120, 150 billion dollars to Ukraine. There's people all over the streets in our country, homeless people. What would that $100 billion do in this country? Oh, yeah, you want to be a humanitarian. Good. Start in this country. If I want to be a good man, I'm going to take care of my ex-wife. I'm going to take care of my kids. I'm going to take care of my grandchildren. And then I'll take care of everybody else in this fucking room. But start at home. Start with the people around you. What good is it if I don't want to pay Anna or I don't want to pay Amina and I'm going to send thousands of dollars, send this to Ukraine to sound like a good guy? No. I want to take care of the people around me first. And that's what this country has got to do. These are the questions we got to ask and answer. So, again, I get wound up in these things.
Okay, Konstantin Kokonakis. Please send a shout out to my dad, Nick. My grandfather, Manny, worked at the Copa for many years. Do you remember dealing with the Greek captains or waiters? How did they run the joint under Jules Padel?
The Copa was the best. I was a kid back then. I would, Carmine Persico had a table. I was with the Colombo people. I wasn't even made. And I would get a little sweetheart and go on a date. I would go through the fucking kitchen into the Copacabana, get a nice table, bragging rights, all that bullshit. It was great. The Copa was run good. It was a great place and a great time. I'm not sure who ran it. I know there was a couple of people in there that you would talk to. And it was more like if Carmine Persico told them, give them my table, and they weren't going, we had their table. So it was a great place to go and live. You know what I wanted to say? What's that kid who talked for me once or twice on this guy's show?
Xavier James.
Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier James. Xavier James, listen, bro, I think the world of you. You talked good about me to, who's this guy? Who's that talk show guy?
Jeff.
Huh? Jeff Nadeau. So he talked good with him, and Jeff Nadeau tried to bully him and say, come on my show. He came on the show and talked to him about him talking about me. Now Jeff Nadeau, from what I hear, turned around and said this guy, Xavier James, is on his knees giving Sammy a blowjob. Now, Jeff, I got to say this, but that fucking bothers me.
I know.
He's a good kid.
Yep.
He's a good kid, and that's the way you want to talk about him. He's one of my kids. He's one on my show. I'm going to tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me, because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees, and I'm going to make you suck my dick. Don't fuck with this kid. Stop, you shut your fucking mouth. Be a fucking man. You want to be a man? Don't fuck with him. Come and fuck with me. Come. This fucking bum.
Yeah.
You want to knock girls who are working for me. You want to knock this fucking kid for no fucking reason. You want to knock me, knock me. You want to do something, come down. Knock my brains in. Come on. I'm sick of this fucking bum.
Your chat's blowing up.
Yep.
They're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, I try to stay as professional as possible, but,
Here's a guy, the best thing is, this guy sent me, and we have the text, I think.
Oh, my God.
Sent me a fucking text begging me and Anna.
Oh, yeah.
We have the text.
And the emails, everything.
Emails and everything.
Xavier
that he
was
wanted
sweet.
to be partners with me like I'm doing with OC Shorts.
Yeah.
And I don't like him. I don't like what he does. I don't like what he says. He got thrown out of the other sports place that he was working. They threw him the fuck out. Mm-hmm. You're a fucking rag, a mutt. And I said no. I said no in a polite way. I didn't talk like this.
Right.
But I'm sick and fucking tired of your fucking remarks, not only about me, but people around me. The women who work for me, that kid talking decent. You called him out, he came on your show. He stood up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sick of fucking bums like this.
Yeah.
I really am. You know, they do this with me, they do it with Michael Franchise, they do it with other people. I'm sick and fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up. Grow a pair of balls and do your own show. Talk about yourself. Stop talking about... And anybody who ever hears this, don't go to their shows if they got to knock fucking people. That's all they do.
Yeah, they're saying he's a creep. He's a mook. Like, he doesn't really have a show. Like,
no, they don't have shows, these guys. And I don't want to mention all their names because they'll all go, I'll hear nothing but bullshit. I'm tired of it. I don't listen to them. I don't respond to them. I will some fucking day. Mm-hmm. Another one is threatening me. One or two of them threaten. We'll tell them this. And here, let me tell you what they're going to tell you. When I flipped on John Gotti, they called people, everybody and their mother, in to get information on me. They call 5, 6, 7 women. Tell us something freaky about him. Tell us something dirty about him. They got shit. Nothing. One girl they actually threatened, Tony Ann. She went on the lam, not to make up something. If you don't say this on this, in court, so we can make a fool out of him, we'll kill you. She didn't say it. She took off and went on the lam, not to say it. Louise went in. I think she told them, I'll say something. All of you guys, Joe Watts was in the room, all these guys. All you guys put together are in a pimple on his ass. No, they didn't like those answers. How do I know this? Joe Watts was a fucking rat in the room talking to John Gotti. So the agents told me it was funny, Sammy. Everything that was said to him by the women or whoever came in, he would tell the FBI. And the FBI told me. So it's a fucking circus. Mm-hmm. Calling people rats, doing this and that and the other thing. Whatever. Whatever people did, they did. All kinds of shit. I got somebody complaining to me today about what I did. What I did. And I don't want to say the person, and I don't want to say the names, but because I'm going to answer it. Because they say, oh, you won't answer me. Oh, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to call you. But the person you're talking about was in the fucking mafia, killing people, doing that. Same as us, all of us. We took an oath to do that. We did that. You mad he got killed? Me too. But that's the life. I tell my family, don't complain to nothing. If I get killed, I broke the oath. If I get killed, I get killed. I know what the fuck I did. Don't complain. Don't worry about who came down to kill me. It's probably his job. He's ordered to do it. So, these people here, they got me fucking disgusted. If it wasn't for these good people, you people out there that I'm talking to, I would pack, I would get the fuck away and not even bother with this bullshit. But I got good people, I'm talking to them. But these people just don't want to stop or grow up or be men. Act like a fucking man. You don't like me, motherfucker, come down and see me. I mean, I would love to be in prison with you. And you saying some fucking kid, a young guy, a young man, talking to you, and you don't like what he says, so you want to say he's on his knees? Sucking my cock. That's what you want to say. And that makes you a man?
One of your viewers said, Jeff has a lot of dick on his mind. Like, why is he always talking
He's always
like
talking
that?
about dick. And
Somebody's
I was getting back to, when they struck out with me, they had to say something in court to try and make me look bad. And they made up all kinds of stories. So you're going to hear that from some of these people who are threatening me. They're going to say things. That I'm gay. They wanted to make that up. It just didn't fly, but they wanted to say I was gay. Good. I'm gay. There's a big gay audience. All you gay people out there, come and see me, talk to me, love me. I love you too. I got gay people in my family. I don't hate gay people. You probably do. You think it's a disgrace. I got family members who are gay. I don't think it's a disgrace. It's a choice. They do what they want. When you bring it too far, I wouldn't like it if it was my family member. I'll say something. But if you're just gay, that's your preference. I don't give a fuck. Do what you want. They'll say things about my daughter. She's an N lover. Because my granddaughter is biracial. Yeah. I'm sick of these fucking things. I was in a cell with a guy who we fought from lockdown, 8, 9 o'clock at night till fucking 7 o'clock the next morning. A guy, Steve-O, a Mexican guy, next door to me. He says, Sammy, what were you doing last night? Because we were fighting, we were just banging all over the fucking cell. It was just two of us in the cell. So I said, we were fighting. What'd you think we were doing, bro? Getting laid? Why were you fighting? Because every time he sees something, he'll say something. And I tell him, listen, I don't want to hear that fucking bullshit. Well, I know. Why you? Because your daughter's a nigger lover. Oh, wow. Is that what you're going to tell me in the room? We fought all night. I busted his fucking ass up and down the fucking room, up and down the room. The next day, he went and go rat me out. The unit manager at MCC, a lot of guys who were in this part, I forget her name, she's a black woman. So she said, Sammy, what happened? So I says, he talks about, he just got a big mouth. I can't stay in the cell with him. She says, he said racial shit to you, right? About your daughter? Yeah, he did. She says, I can't separate you. I don't have enough cells. Go back in the cell there tonight and bust his fucking ass and don't worry about nothing. And that's exactly what I did. The couple of days later, the following week, he was going to leave. One of the AB guys, John, who was in the same unit as me, he heard what happened. And he says, hey, forgot the guy's name. You leaving? Yeah. Hey, good luck. Put his hand out. The guy put his hand out. He slapped him right in the fucking face. He said, you wanted to fight with Sammy? He slapped him right in the fucking face. I mean hard. Knocked him right to the ground. And then the unit manager says, oh, come on, stop it. He's got to go. There's marshals here to pick him up. And he left. So, this is do. I wish we were in prison together in that cell. Me and you. We would have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. See how big of a mount you would have.
Yeah.
You know.
And on that note.
And on that note, where do we go from here? I apologize to my fans or my followers that I just exploded a little bit. See, I could still explode a little bit, even though I'm a nice guy.
You got it in you.
Yeah,
you know what they say, Sammy? People that don't have like the cognitive ability or the intellectual stimulation enough, like they have to take it personal because that's all they know. They go to a very low frequency instead of using facts. He has no facts. His show is turned up to a telenovela gossip, little girl crybaby shit. That's probably why they didn't want him at Barstool, Dave's company. So and he don't want us to talk because I'm a nice girl, but don't let the cute face fool you. Jeff no do.
All right.
Get him, Anna.
I'm a fucking lady.
Get him out of me. And she's a psychologist, talking good words that I should be talking that way. That's great. Good words. That's perfect. But this is what these people are. And I don't know how he's got any kind of an audience who wants to listen to this stupid fuck talk. And everything out of their mouths, half of them. I heard a video today about a hit, and I could say his name too. Proctor's doing a video talking about a hit that I'm on, that I did. And he's telling me who's on the hit and what happened. And I would put up any money in the world that whoever told you that is lying to you. Didn't happen. Didn't happen that way. And it's just crazy that to hear this shit and hear some of these things that are said, you know, and I don't get into a lot of this because a lot of this, hopefully it's going to come out in my scripted show, Story of My Life, because thank God I'm working with people who want the truth. The people I'm working with are saying, we don't want to say this is based on a true story. I said, what do you want to say? This is a true story.
1000%.
Here's how they're doing this. They're talking to the FBI, the DEA, New York State Organized Crime Strike Force, police, prosecutors, judges, anybody who ever fucking knew me, they're talking to. And I'm telling them what I say. And the first answer, and then you would probably notice, and the guy says, bro, everything you fucking say just comes out to the fucking T almost.
Yeah.
You got a great memory. Now, I could make a mistake here and there, but, and I you know, the Sopranos was 80% Hollywood, 20% based on a true story. Mm-hmm. There is a family, the Cavalcanti family, it was based on that. My story, I want it, they want it, 80% truth, 20% Hollywood. You're not going to stop Hollywood from coming in, it's a show. They're going to want to juice it up here and there. I'll tell you one quick story about that. I did my book, The Underboss. And the first guy that I clipped was Joe Colucci. His wife was going out with all kinds of guys. She was, you know. So I said she was extremely pretty. They put down Drop Dead Gorgeous. I don't know about Drop Dead Gorgeous, but that's good enough. She was good looking, so Drop Dead Gorgeous is a good word.
Yeah.
Then when we were writing the book, he said, Sam, if the thing is taken for a movie, I want to do something big for it. Like what? That you and her have this tremendous love scene. I said, yeah, it would probably be good. In the movie, the only fucking thing is that I never had sex with her. So she's alive, and I know her. She's gonna say that little bastard's lying. So I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But they want to do it because it's gonna be a good scene. Mm-hmm. But I didn't want it, and we didn't put it in the book. Yeah. So I said, fuck the scene. They'll do other scenes. I don't want to do it. And I'm trying to do that with my scripted show.
Yeah.
And what I'm blessed with is that the guys who are working with me, they want it that way too. As much, you know, fact and truth that we can get. So
I think that's why this Frank Fiala interview that you did with Michael Sapor, the Czechoslovakian, he's the #1 content creator in Czech, and he got access to the guy that was there, witnessed the murder, he was at Frank Fiala's party that night. He's still alive, and this interview is going to be insane when it comes out.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Mm-hmm. I told the story. They came from Czechoslovakia over here. Mm-hmm. They're the biggest in Czechoslovakia. And one guy who's a heavyweight, and I don't want to say their names, that's up to them. Right. They did the interview. They came here, they did the interview with me, we did it again. The guy was there. Not only did he know Frank Fiala, and he tells his history and story, but he told my story to a fucking T.
1,000%.
1,000%. And there's not one word he took out of my mouth that said, well, it's not that, it's this. And that's fucking 100 years ago. Well, not 100 years ago, but it's a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And so that, and I like it that way.
Pictures,
you know,
and everything.
I'm not a fucking angel. I did some fucking crazy shit, some stupid shit, some ugly shit. I want it out there. That's what I did. I was a soldier in Cosa Nostra, and I'm not want to, you know, pat myself on the back. I did some good things, but I did some evil shit. But I'm not evil in a way where I lie about people, or I distort the truth, or I did something, kill people for money, or all this other bullshit. A guy just asked me recently about, do they pay, like the OJ.
Oh, the mob. Did
the mob kill, you know, OJ hired the mob. Get the fuck out of here. The mob is dead against that. We don't kill for money. We won't do that. It's against our rules. It's against everything. It's bullshit. Out and out bullshit. And when I heard that, I was talking, and I had one of my guys came to me. I don't want to say his name, but he came to me and said, Sammy, this guy wants to pay us $25,000 to kill his wife. He's sending me a message. So I said, he wants to pay me $25,000 to kill his wife. Yeah. All right. Tell him to give you $12,500 up front. And when she's dead, they'll give us the other $12,500. And the guy looked at me and said, I told him we don't do that. No, we're not going to do it. But I'm going to rob him out of the $12,500. And that's exactly what I did. And I sent back a message. Over here, no, I'm not going to kill her. What you do, you want to leave her, go, there's court, go to divorce court and divorce her. And you can go to the FBI and tell them I robbed you for $12,500, that I didn't want to kill your wife. But tell them what you were going to pay for. He can't go to the cops. So I got the $12,500, we cut it up, and she lived. And I told him where to go. Divorce court, jerk off. You don't kill your wife. You go get a divorce, break up.
You got the 12.5?
Yes, we did. Yeah. I didn't want to let that go.
That's great.
So that's another thing about OJ's. That's I guarantee you that's bullshit. I mean, I would bet my life on it.
Yeah.
That's total bullshit.
Great live today, Sammy. Glad to be back. I missed all you guys. I love all you guys. Great live.
Great to have you back. You know, and
I'm just
now,
a bump on the log. Don't look at me. I'm just sitting here. I don't
Yeah,
do anything
yeah.
in the office.
well now,
You
yeah,
hear
yeah.
that, guys?
We're never going to hear that.
She don't do. I've never heard the end of this. I've never heard the end of this. But anyway, we're gonna pack it in now, and we're gonna eat some of. Where is she? Amina's
I'm
ducking
hiding.
some of
I'm
her
resigning.
chocolate.
It's her turn to take a break now.
It's my turn to take
Yeah.
a break.
So we wind it.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, so we gotta wind. So adios, motherfuckers.